sometimes it so happens that in spite of your best effort, things will not materialize the way you want. And one such occasion was the Sri Sathya Sai Unity Cup in Prashantilayam. We had this India 11 versus World 11. And we had Sachin Tendulkar, captain of the Indian cricket team, and we had Arjuna Ranatunga, who had just won the World Cup for Sri Lanka. He was the captain of the world team, and the cricket stadium has been erected in Prashantilayam. And so the D-Day arrived, and I was given the responsibility of serving food, transporting food, both for the cricketers in the stadium as well as for the Prime Minister, who was the chief guest on the occasion, who was being hosted in the Sai Srinivas guest house in the ashram. So the previous day I was told that, we are allotting, because you're doing a very significant work, you are going to serve the Prime Minister, you're serving the cricketers, so we are giving you this vehicle and we are giving you our ashram's chief driver. He will be with you, so do the needful. So I got up in the morning, fully charged up, and now, today, we never saw the match. We were all the time busy with our work. The first bombshell came. The ashram driver comes and tells, "Sir, I have been reassigned some other work, so here is the key of our car, Jeep. Please make your own arrangements for driving the vehicle." You are serving the Prime Minister of India. Can there be more important work than that on the D-Day or the cricket match? But something has become more important than serving Prime Minister of India. God's tests, I tell you, amazing. So he left that, and look, Swami knows that this fellow doesn't know how to drive a car. Because that also came to me from Swami. One day he was gifting, as part of the sports meet, every year he used to give a cup to every campus. So that year he decided, I'm going to give a car to all the campuses as a gift for all the hard work the students and teachers have put. So that year, on the prize distribution day, all the wardens were called and they were given the keys of the car. So I also got the key, and I came behind the stage, and then Swami was returning and he looked at me, "Hey, that car is not for you to drive. It's not for you to drive." I don't know, somehow it subtly was a message for me. Don't go for car driving yourself. This is, whether it's true or should have been taken like that or not taken like that, I don't go into the details. But Swami knew that this fellow doesn't know car driving. So the vehicle is there. So I caught hold of one alumnus. I said, "I have to take breakfast for the Prime Minister. Can you please help me?" He said, "Come, I will drive. I will deliver the items, but I have some other assignment. I have to go elsewhere." So I delivered the food for the Prime Minister in the guest house, and I came back to the Shanti Bhavan in the ashram and asked, "Where is the vehicle to take the food for the cricketers?" And they said, that vehicle, there was some shortage of vehicles, so people had to be transported to the stadium. So we have sent off that vehicle to carry some other people. That vehicle is no longer there. I said, "What do you mean? How are we going to transport food to the stadium without that?" So I went in search of the vehicle. Where is that fellow, who has been assigned to us? And Prime Minister has already entered the stadium, and the police security are at the gate, and they are stopping everybody. Everybody who wants. How the stadium is full. People want to enter, and they are saying, "No, Prime Minister has come, nobody can come in." So I said, "I am serving the Prime Minister only. If you don't allow me, he will not get his lunch. Please allow me." He said, No, we cannot allow you." And I did something unthinkable, something which is totally out of alignment with my temperament. I gave one push to the gate, and it was so, they were so stunned. All the time went off in closing the gate, because the rest of the public also wanted to enter, but I escaped. So I went in, I reached the stadium, and I went to the back of the Shanti Vedika, and I see my vehicle there, and I was so happy there. But the vehicle is locked. Where is the driver? He is sitting inside the stadium and watching the cricket match. Where in the this earth am I going to search for this driver in the cricket stadium? So I was looking at myself, I looked at the teachers, they said, don't worry, we will give you some cards, some faculty cards with that. You take these 2 cards and you rush. And then, I rushed to the canteens because we had to pick up fruit from 3 canteens. So I picked up and I reached, at that point of time, I reached the Sai Srinivas guest house, delivered the food to the Sai Srinivas guest house for the Prime Minister. And suddenly a message came, sir, the morning session of the cricket match is over. The cricketers have come back to the pavilion. They all asking for lunch. I said, what do you mean? 1 hour is still left for lunch. No, the first innings is over. You please come and get the lunch. I said, no, there is no lunch. I have to go and pick up still. So with those vehicles, I went to the canteen, picked up the food, and I was, sending whatever vehicle was there, sending. Finally, I also landed up at the Shanti Bhavan. And then, that day in the menu was bhaturas. So I said, did you get the bhaturas? I said, yes. I said, have you kept the bhaturas for the world team? And they said, for the world team? No, we thought you were sending more bhaturas. Everything was coming in installment. So we have sent off the entire bhaturas for the Indian cricket team. He said, no, it is meant for the whole pavilion. You have to divide it for the 2 teams. So our faculty went, and Sachin and all, they're seeing the bhaturas and, their hearts are melting. And in front of them, they are taking the bhaturas and passing it on to the Pakistani side. And Sachin, what is this? Our bhaturas are being taken away. What is our share? So I tell you. And then I rushed back to get ice creams. So I was getting the ice creams, and suddenly near the bus stand, they stopped our vehicle. They said, Prime Minister is coming. You cannot get free entry now. And so we're waiting. The ice creams are melting in the vehicle. So the Prime Minister had gone to super hospital. He came back to his guest house. Then we took the melted ice creams and whatever was left. So that day, I tell you, it was a comedy of errors. And we were seated after everybody left. I was seated in the mandir and feeling so depressed. Swami, we let you down so badly, so badly. Then a few minutes later, Swami comes out and he went to the warden. And he said, I am very happy with the work which students and teachers have done. This is the first thing which he said. Then he came back, and some of us teachers were seated, all of us were seated there. And suddenly he said, who all did work today? And then all of us spontaneously said, Swami, we all worked together. And Swami said, Manchidi, Manchidi. And that one statement which he made lifted that pall of gloom, and in a few seconds, that whole sorrow, depression, Swami, I have let you down with such terrible mess up today, everything disappeared. And I then realized that that whole episode was actually enacted, because imagine, right from the first day, you're in the morning, first event, Prime Minister's driver pulled out, as if Prime Minister, more than the Prime Minister, somebody else is important, but all that happened, Swami wanted it to happen. He willed that it should be like that. And the only thing which Swami recognized and appreciated was the sincerity of effort, that in spite of all the obstacles, in spite of all the difficulties, you did your best. So that's what actually God wants. He tests us. Sometimes we succeed in the test. Sometimes we fail in the test. But what is more important for Him is, with what feeling did you do that test? If you did that feeling with samarpan, then you have passed the test. In His eyes, you may have failed in the eyes of the world, but in His eyes, you have passed His test. So that was something which happened on that particular day.